Buckle up, we're going to move through them fast.
Stick around and we'll get right to it.
All right, let's start with a couple of the usual suspects. We got the UV5R on sale for $19.99. That is a 1-pack. This one does have USB-C charging. If you want a little bit better deal, I would suggest going with the 2-pack. You'll save about $5 and you can get both of them for $33.99. And that includes 4 antennas, a couple of batteries, a couple of radios. Now, let's change gears for a second. We'll come back to radios here in just a minute. This is a big favorite of mine. And when you can get it at 40% off for $12, man, guys, you got to buy a couple of these at least. I've got one of these on just about every single bag that I own. Fantastic flashlight. You recharge it with USB-A, and it's a very simple light. You pull it to turn it on. You put it back in the magnetic tail cap to turn it off. Super, super nice light. And like I said, one good to have on all of your bags. Now, if you want to upgrade that just a little bit, this is the I Ultra. It is roughly the same size, but this one is USB-C, and it's in their special aluminum or whatever they call it. Supposed to be a little bit tougher than their original. This one's 20% off. You're going to pay nearly twice for it, but still a very nice light. I've only got one of these, and that's the one that Olight sent me. Another Olight that I'm a big fan of is the O-Clip. This one's on sale, 25% off. You can pick one up for $30. This one is USB-C rechargeable. It's magnetic. It's got a clip on it. It's cool. It comes in several different colors, so pick the one that's your favorite. Another favorite of mine is the Olight Sphere C. You can get a 2-pack of these for 30% off, so $25 for 2 of them. This is a great light. I think I've got about 6 of these now at this time. Paid a little bit more for mine because I was buying them individually when they first came out, but still a super light. I've got 3 of them, I know, in the RV alone. And then one sits back here on this shelf and a couple of others in some other packs. Now, let's jump back to radios for a second. This is one of Redifus's newest offerings. It's the RA89R. It's the follow-up to their RA89. And probably the coolest feature about this radio is the crossband repeat. So that's something that I don't have in my lineup, or didn't until I grabbed this radio. So I really wanted this one specifically for that crossband repeat feature. I don't use it a lot, but I do use it occasionally. And I've got a full-length video coming out on this radio later this week. Right now, you can score it for 29% off. Now, to go along with that, they've got a sister radio that is the RA89G, or Golf. This is the GMRS version, airband reception. It's got FM radio. It's got weather alerts and basic GMRS radio. 24% off right now for $45 for the basic setup. That does come with the base and the wall charger, and this guy is USB-C rechargeable. Now, this is one that I featured last year. I've already done a video on this. This radio is sitting across the room right over there at another one of my workstations, and that's the Redifus MA1. It's a dual band, crossband repeat capable 50-watt mobile transceiver, and it's got UHF and VHF as well as airband reception. Now, if you're looking something that's a little bit cheaper, take a look at the Redifus RT95. Currently on sale for Prime Day at $112 or 20% off. Now, if you need programming cables, this is a great buy on a Baofeng programming cable if you're in need of one of those. 26% off, $5.58. My favorite, though, is this one here. This is a single cable that will program a lot of different radios. And for the one-time investment of $29.75, I think it's worth it, even though it's not on a Prime Day deal. Now, let's run through some of my favorite test gear. The Tiny SA Ultra is a pretty slick little device, and it is 15% off for Prime Day. To go along with that, you might want to take a look at the Nano VNA H4. It's also on sale, 20% off for Prime Day. Now, This is a item that I just purchased, and I'm going to tell you guys, this is absolutely fantastic. If you've ever been frustrated by a USB cable, this is the piece of test kit you need. I paid $16. Now it's on sale for 15% off or $13.50. This will tell you if that USB cable you're trying to use is just a charge-only cable or if it will do charge and data. It'll also tell you a lot more information, full-length video coming soon, but this is definitely worth $13.50. If you've ever wanted to know how much power one of your VHF, UHF radios is putting out, take a look at the Surecom antenna power and SWR meter. It's currently 20% off, and this will give you exact numbers of what your VHF and UHF radios are putting out. Here's another little device I threw in here. This one is not on sale, unfortunately, but this is a pretty slick little USB-C tester. It'll also do DC barrel ports. Can't remember exactly what it is. I think this thing will handle like 5 volts to 60 volts and up to 5 amps, if I remember right. I might have some of those specs off. I do have a past video I've done on this, and I've got another one that's coming up because this is a really, really good piece of test equipment to have in your shack. Now, this is a final one. You can see that I purchased this one quite a while ago. So I've had this one for over 3 years. Fantastic little meter. I've got it in one of my small tool kits for $19. You can't go wrong. It's just that simple, easy, quick little meter that you can put in a very small kit. All right, so I told you guys we were going to move quick. Let's jump over and look at some Meshtastic, Meshcore. If you need links to anything, they're down in the description below. The Weo Tracker L1 Pro is on sale. This is a pretty neat little device because you can use this as a companion device, pair it to your phone, or you can run it right from the front panel with the joystick that's included. So 20% off is probably the best price I've seen on that particular device. One of my favorite solar nodes is the SenseCap solar node. This is the P1 Pro. Currently, it's on sale for 20% off. Honestly, you might be able to score a better deal on their website, but that's if they have them in stock. Right here on Amazon, they're usually in stock, but they are a little bit more expensive. Now, to go along with that, one of my favorite trackers is the SenseCap T1000E. I've got 2 or 3 of these, I think, right now, and this is a great price. Typically, these are $50, so you're going to save $10 or 20% today during Prime Day deals. If you don't mind a couple of the older LoRa V3 boards, you can score a pair of those for $55 or 16% off. They do offer that in several different colors, so just come down here and choose whichever color you would like for that. And then finally, in the Meshtastic Meshcore devices is the ThinkNode M5. Now, I don't have this particular node. I've got their M1 and their M2, I believe. And I believe that's the M1 that's got the e-ink display on it, just like this one does. That thing's got some really, really good battery life because of that e-ink display. Currently 20% off, so you can pick one of those up for about $64. Now let's talk about power banks for a second. You can see right up here in this top left corner, I've bought this one twice. That's how much I believe in it. It's currently 14% off. That's not the best price I've seen on it, but that's not a bad price either. This thing is 140 watts max, 3-port laptop charger, so you got 2 USB-Cs on top, a USB-A on top, and a nice screen letting you know all of the pertinent details for the device when you're either charging it or discharging it. One of my favorite power banks. However, downside to this one is the form factor. It's got an odd form factor to it, and I was looking for a battery bank to fit in one specific kit, and the Anchor would not do it. And that's when I stumbled across this Ugreen 20,000 milliamp hour 100 watt power bank. This one is a really, really good buy right now, 38% off, bringing it down to $50. The only negative I can say about this is while it is a 100 watt discharge, it will only recharge at 65 watts. So it takes a little bit longer to recharge than my Anchor power bank. But depending on the form factor you need or the price you want to pay, I can say this is a really good unit. Now, if you need something that's a little bit smaller, than that. The Ugreen 10,000 milliamp hour 45 watt is on sale currently 45% off, bringing it down to only $30. So if you're looking for something a little bit lighter weight, a little bit smaller, and you don't have to have 100 watt output, this is definitely something to take a look at. Now, I do want to talk about a Starlink power stand. I did a video on one very similar to this, but it was almost 3 times the price of this one. So right now, 22% off, bringing it down to just slightly over $100. This is probably every bit as good as the one I reviewed on the channel, and it's an excellent price on that. And then finally, for the battery category, Opus is running a huge sale on several of their products, or many of their products, however you want to say that. I do have a link down in the description below for them. I've got their Mega 1, their Mega 2 Pro, and their Mega 3. The Mega 1 is probably the one I use most often just because it's lighter weight and easier to carry around. The Mega 3 is the one that always goes in the back of the truck when we're leaving out on an RV trip. So if you've been putting off buying a power station like the Opus, today might be the day that you want to take a look at that. Now, let's close this out by taking a look at a couple of tools that I think are absolute essentials in the shack. If you mess with solar at all, you need the MC4 crimping tool. Right now, Bougie RV has got that at 26% off, and that brings it down to $25. It does come with several MC4 connectors and the tools for putting together and taking apart those MC4 connectors. Now, if you're a ham radio operator, you absolutely have to have an Anderson Power Pole crimper. Right now, for Prime Day, 15% off, bringing them down to $17. And then, one of my favorite little utility knives is the Work Pro. And you can get a 3-piece set here for $10. I like these because I save my main blade and don't use it for opening packages and things like that. I like these Work Pros because if they get dull, you just take the razor blade out and swap it in with a fresh one. No need to even worry about sharpening these.